Hey, this a rolling, not a stop. Watch, don't never stop. This the flow that got the block hot, got super hot. Hey, give me my respect. Give me my respect. I just took it left like on ambidex. I moved through London with the Euro steps. Got a sneaker deal and I ain't break a sweat. Catch me cause I'm gone. Out of there, I'm gone. How I go from 6 to 23 like I'm the.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Off the Bench podcast. My name is Jim Cross. It's another daytime episode, so I'm alone. No Ava Garza, no Daniel Ball. It's okay, though, because we got the DOC in the building. We got Caden McDonald from Florida. But before we bring him in the show, we got to plug the sponsors. Chinook Seedery, 9 flavors, mild to wild, the best sunflower seeds in the game. Can basically find them just about anywhere from your gas station to your grocery store or the ballpark themselves. Of course, Old Dominick Distillery in the heart of downtown Memphis. Whiskey, vodka, bourbon, gin, they got it all your spirits needs. Tell both the and Off the Bench sent you. But Caden, man, we got to get into it. Like I'm watching the highlight reel and like, bro, Oklahoma wins the national championship. Like, I feel like by association, like you're a champion in some way because you made their house your house.
No, that was a great weekend. And actually when I was in the Cape when I was in the Cape this summer, one of my teammates was on Oklahoma, and he came after they won the national championship. And it was kind of cool to talk to him, and just like, because obviously that's the goal. And obviously his spirits were way up, and just kind of talking to him about what the team was like. And he was like, man, they just came together, and it was pretty special to watch and be a part of. So hopefully we can get to that this year. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's really cool to have such a good weekend against a really good team like that.
Yeah, no, man, and Liam and Aiden know this. I had bet on 2 teams that I thought would win it all. I thought Georgia Tech with the way they swung it, and then I bet on Florida because of the way you guys pitch. I really thought, man, y'all were going to make a run at it, just having such a deep pitching staff. I told the last guest was LJ Mercurius from Oklahoma, and I told him straight up on the show, I was like, man, I didn't have you guys having a chance. I didn't have you beating Georgia Tech. And I said, even when y'all got to Omaha, I said, man, I didn't see it. And I said, you guys, man, shocked the world. But, shout out to them guys. Came together, towards the end of the season, got hot at the right time. But man, let me talk to you about the off season first, because I got to know. I seen in your bio that you like to golf. You talked about being in the Cape. Have you been able to have time out on the golf course since baseball's kind of died down a little bit?
So funny story, I actually hadn't. My plan was to go to the Cape and spend the whole summer up there. I'm dealing with a couple bone bruises right now, and one of my hands from getting hit by a pitch the second game up there. So I'm kind of just rehabbing from that. So not able to play golf yet. Haven't played golf really the whole summer. I played the week that I was home before the Cape. Got to play some nice courses down here, but golf up there in the Cape is a lot of fun. I was looking forward to that. So it kind of stinks that I wasn't able to play, but as soon as I'm back healthy, that's going to be the first thing I do is go play some golf. So got a couple more weeks before I can do that. But yeah,
I didn't mean to bring up I didn't know you were hurt, man. I figured you'd probably been swinging it just about every day.
No, well, I wish that was the plan, but no, I mean, it's fine. It's a minor injury. Just I'll be back in a couple weeks. But no, I've been playing golf my whole life. Since I played golf before I played baseball. Used to live on a golf course when I was like 3 or 4, and my grandma took me out back with as soon as I could walk, took me out back with a little plastic ball and a spoon, a little wooden spoon, and I just whacked the ball around. And I played competitive golf for it, played competitive baseball, like played in like U.S. kids tournaments and stuff. And then my while I was doing both like little league baseball and stuff, I was kind of, my temper on the golf course was a little too much because I had no one to blame but myself back then when I was little. And so, my dad had to stop me from throwing clubs and stuff. But
you can't be as demonstrative as you are in baseball.
Exactly. You can't exactly do things for the team. You just got to do everything for yourself. So I just chose baseball when I think I was like 10, but I used to play competitively, and the competition was getting so good. Like I was facing these kids who went to like IMG and stuff for golf as like 9-year-olds, and it just kind of got out of hand. And I'm like, all right, I just kind of want to play for fun, but no, I'm like a 6 handicap ish. Obviously I haven't played in a little bit, but yeah, that's easily my favorite thing to do in my free time. Like anytime we have an off day or whatever, and I really don't have anything, I'm gonna go play golf as long as weather permits. Like people like you know people ask me like, do I like fishing or whatever? Fishing, go hunting or whatever. I'm like, if I have a day off, I'm playing golf. That is it.
Yeah, if I was as good as you, I'd probably spend as much time. But I like to dive into everything because my golf game isn't as strong, and I definitely can fish with the best of them. But you obviously get to do things like this because where you're from. For those who don't know, where are you from?
I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, and I hated my main host wasn't near. He's from there. I go visit him all the time. It's absolutely beautiful city. Growing up there, it is a sports town. You have baseball, you have hockey, you have football. Are you growing up rooting on all the local Tampa teams?
Yep. Bucks, Rays, Bolts. All three of
You got
them.
a lot of championships under your belt in your young life. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, just recent too. I mean, like in 2020. I mean, I went to one of the Rays World Series games when it was COVID because one of my family connections like was able because it was in Texas, even though they played the Dodgers because they had to have the neutral site and all that. But I was able to go to one of those games that the Rays won. Brandon Lau hit 2 home runs. I'll never forget that. And we have Bucks season tickets. So I go to 4 or 5 games a year, try to go as much as possible. And then I recently started going to more like Lightning games. My sister lives down in Fort Lauderdale, where and the rivalry between the Lightning and the Florida Panthers is huge. So I was able to go to a Florida Panthers and Lightning game, and that was pretty intense. They got in like 5 fights, and it was pretty sick.
Yeah,
But
no,
I've been getting more into hockey, and that's been a lot of fun.
yeah, we had because Tommy White's from down there, and when we had him on a few years back, him and Daniel just had a field day talking about going to Lightning games, and they were telling me because I've been to plenty of big sporting events, but I hadn't been to a hockey playoff game, and they were like, go to a Tampa hockey playoff game, and it'll change your life. They said it's an epic scene, so it's something I got on the bucket list is to get down there with him and preferably see a game in general, but if I can make it a playoff game for sure.
Yeah, and also like having like Brendan Lawson on my team, who obviously is Canadian, so he loves hockey, and so that's just like someone to like. I went to a hockey we've been planning on going to hockey games, and like we talk about the Lightning and whatever, and he like helps me like learn more about the sport, and like because sometimes it's hard to like if you're just getting into it, it's really hard to watch because it's so fast moving and like you just don't know what's going on, and so it kind of helps having him. But yeah, I'm trying to get really more into it. Plan to go to a few games this year.
Nice. All right. So, talking about Tampa area, 2023 Class 6A Player of the Year at Sickles, went 30-2, first state title in program history. Man, for you, like being able to be a part of your school's first first state championship like that. What was that season like, man? Just how much fun was it?
Oh, it was awesome. Our team was super close. We had a bunch of studs. I mean, we had the Yost brothers. Um, so yeah, I've been playing with Hayden for a long time. And then obviously we know the success that Jordan Yost had. Um, and then just the team was super close, and we just kind of had every aspect. I mean, one aspect of the game would pick us up whenever we didn't have the other one, or and vice versa. So, just yeah, that team was special, and that's just the best way to describe it. I would joke with some of my teammates that and our coach that the 2 losses that we had were my fault. Where the first one I got hit in the face with a line drive in the second inning when I was pitching, and I had to go to the hospital, and we ended up losing that game. And then the second game I just pitched like crap, and so then every other game we won. So we really should have went 32-0, but
Next time you got to get out the way of that hit.
yeah, you're telling me. But Yeah, no, that was awesome, and just, the reception from, like, the school when it happened, when we were making our run, it was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, so obviously have that, and then you end up, getting injured. That whole process comes like around what time did that happen? Was it during your senior year? Was it after your senior year? Because I see the red shirt on the freshman season of Florida. When did you have to have Tommy John?
So I didn't make it through the fall, so it was kinda something that, like, slowly came about, just as fall ball started, I was throwing, I was healthy, and just kinda every scrimmage, it just kinda got worse, and then one scrimmage, it just popped, and so that was kind of it. Got surgery a couple weeks later, and then, kinda just went through my rehab and stuff, but I was able to travel with the team that year and was able to go to Omaha, and, like, even though you're not playing, it was still really cool to just be around that culture and, like, just be like, even if you're a small part, just, like, kinda just trying to be a team guy, like, even if you're a small part of that success, like, it's still cool, and you get to see a lot of, like, what it takes to go to Omaha and, end up being, like, a Final Four team, and
Yeah,
so
no,
it was
we've
still a
had
great experience.
Yeah, no, we've had so many guys come on here and talk about the value of redshirting as a freshman and being able to take everything in, and the game kind of slows down for you, right? You get to take every aspect of it in. You're not in such a rush because you aren't playing, and so yeah, it's
Mhm.
about what you can learn from the experience. I will ask this, as far as Florida, was Florida recruiting you for hitting and pitching, or is that one of the things that came about later?
So I was actually committed to UCF, my junior year, or yeah, during my junior year, because I had a really good year my junior year of high school. I didn't even know if I was gonna play college baseball like my freshman, sophomore year. I was on JV freshman year. Sophomore year, split time, JV and varsity, threw 3 innings, had 5 at bats, um, my sophomore year, and then my junior year kinda blew open. I hit 600. And then got recruited by UCF and a couple other schools, but I chose UCF. And then after my senior year, their head coach got fired, and kind of just I don't know, just decided to change direction, and just Florida was the first call, and then it kind of just worked out from there. It was always my dream school, so.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. It was your dream school, but as I say, it worked out anyway. I mean, Florida, obviously elite, top tier program. So definitely the place you want to be. Like you said, you're in Omaha freshman season, right? Like I mean, just verifies that that's the place you definitely want to be. Year before last, you get 20 innings of pitching, but only one hitting opportunity. But now obviously national attention for doing both. I rarely get to opportunity to talk to a guy who does both. I'm curious on the preparation, man. Like, what's it like on a day where you're going to pitch? Because obviously, I know how pitchers prepare in general, but with the fact that you're still hitting, like, is your preparation different from a normal pitcher?
So it's interesting because at the end of the day, I was still a bullpen arm, right? So you have an idea of when you're gonna pitch, but you truly don't know. So, when we use a bunch of guys, in a Friday night game, and then I kinda get the idea that I'm gonna throw that day. So, I don't know, you kinda just mentally prepare yourself. You're kinda just really making sure that, you're all hydrated and stuff, and you just gotta make sure that you're ready. And then, as the game starts and you're having your first, second at bat, it really doesn't occur to you that you're probably gonna pitch. You're just trying to focus on those, and then, there multiple times I have an at bat, I, do whatever, get back in the dugout, and then they send me down to the bullpen and start warming up, and then you just gotta flip a switch, and that's it. You just get hot, and then
Oh
I
yeah,
I
once you get to go down to the bullpen, it could be little league style, right? They just call you in to go straight to the mound.
that's exactly how it is. You just go down there. Sometimes you throw 5 pitches and you're in the game, but, um no, you kinda just flip the switch, and you kinda just acknowledge what you gotta do and what situation you're coming in, and you just do your best to execute, and just that's all you can do, right? So, as long as you know in your head that you're prepared and you're ready to go, you kinda just put aside whatever you've done that game, at the plate, and you just try to get the job done.
Yeah, no doubt. And so, talking about the pitching side of things, I brought up we've had Aiden and Liam on here, obviously amazing pitching staff at Florida. Just talk about what you've been able to learn from guys like that and just be able to grow over the past couple seasons.
I starting with AK, like AK, everybody knows. I mean, he's a competitor, right? Like just fierce competitor. Um, there's a lot to learn with that. As soon as he came here, that was how he was first lives, as a freshman. So we knew he was going to be something special, and kind of just seeing him, come the pitcher that he is today, it's been really cool, and kind of everybody tries to match that energy. Obviously you want to stick to your play style, and some pitchers just aren't like that. Some pitchers are really like nonchalant and low key about what they do, but I do my best to kind of like match that energy. So just going out there and competing, that's what I've kind of learned from him. And then with Liam, man, he's just special, man. He's got some special stuff. So can't really teach that, if I'm gonna be honest. So
Yeah, no, I told him I messaged him a couple days ago because I play MLB the Show, and I got his card, and I was pitching with his Arsenal. I said they actually they did you pretty solid on the game. I was like, I'm able to pitch extremely well with you on here, or whatever. And he's like, you're the first one to give me a review on how I am on the game, and it's kind of surreal talking to guys on a regular basis that are on video games now. But that's the cool part of watching guys come up from college and be able to get drafted and get in the position they are. But
yeah, we all joked about that in our group chat. Like, there's as soon as they drop the cards, because a lot of us play MLB the Show, and a lot of us are like, we play a lot, and we always joke, when we're like freshman and sophomore, and we see these draft cards come out, and we're like, man, I tell you, when I get drafted, I'm gonna tell them I got all the good pitches in the game. I got sinker, cutter. I tell them I got a fork ball, all stuff like that. But we were joking around about how like they gave him a two seam instead of a sinker, and we're like, man, you should have just told him it's a sinker. So yeah,
No,
that was fun.
I'm able to work with it well, even though I'd rather it be a sinker. But I'd say the only thing that they didn't do them the best on is control. You better dot that fastball perfect, or it's gonna be somewhere you don't want it, and you're gonna be getting teed off on. So going to the hitting side of things, this Javera January is one of my best friends, SEC umpire, and he told me throughout the season because he had you guys a few times, and he's like that kid Caden McDonald. He's like he's the truth, and lo and behold, we're at the SEC tournament, hanging out at the booth with him, and you absolutely demolished one against Georgia. For hitting in that development you had, what would you attribute to the success you've been able to have and develop over the last couple of seasons?
Well, just kind of sticking with the process. I mean, last year, it was kind of like a team, or like a decision that I made with the coaches. Like, hey, we don't know how many at bats you're gonna get, but we know that you could be a factor on the mound. So let's just focus on pitching. And I never really put down the bat. I just focused on pitching, like, so more hitting kind of arbitrarily. Um, but and then I got an at bat in a regional, and obviously that was cool. But and then I always had planned to go to Wareham in the Cape League for the summer. And my high school coach, Coach Luxus, he's the pitching coach up in Wareham. So it was always the plan for me to do both up there. And obviously, as the season went on and I wasn't hitting, that was kind of up in the air, but they kind of stuck with it. They let me get a couple weeks of kind of just pinch hitting and just getting used to seeing pitches. And once I started playing, kind of took off a little bit, just kind of try to just stay to myself, just getting the reps was very important. And then I ended up having a successful summer, and then kind of just came into the fall, had a really good fall, struggled in the preseason, like really bad, leading up into the season. I think that's why, it kind of took so long for me to get in the lineup. But um, I I don't know. I kind of just came in that weekend with Texas A&M when I got it was my second start of the year, and kind of was just like there's nothing to lose. Like if I don't do good, then I just do what I've been doing, and like it's like nothing's gonna change. But was able to get I think my second I struck out the first at bat and I was like, okay, well now this really can't get any worse. And then the second at bat hit a double, and then they left me in for the righty because I was normally just like a pinch hit against lefties. Left me in for the righty, hit a home run, and then kind of just took off from there.
Nice.
And just ever since then, just trying to stick to myself. I mean, just feel like I'm riding the hot hand, and I don't know, just go out there and just try to play my game and just help the team win.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's worked out, and I love seeing a guy who can do both. As an LSU fan, I was covering Skeens when he first got to LSU, and I remember doing a fall ball game against McNeese State, and he struck out all 6 batters he faced in the 2 innings, and he hit 2 home runs that game. And I thought, man, I can't wait for the season to start. And then obviously, he never hit, and so I love being able to see a guy who can do both, get the opportunity to do both, and then excel the way you have. So it's just been really cool. I love that your coach is allowing you to do that, and hopefully next year you continue to progress in both of them. So something I started the episode with, the DOC. Obviously, all the guys call you Doc. I know why, but explain why they call you Doc. What the education is about.
Yeah, kind of yeah. Going into college, like my dream was to become a doctor and like go to medical school, and um, I just kind of almost have that as a backup plan. I mean, kind of just like a 1A, 1B, just see where it goes. Because I always did pretty well in school. Um, so I'm supposed to I'm gonna graduate in the spring and get my biology degree. Just kind of always have that in the back pocket. If baseball doesn't work out, try to go to medical school. But that was kind of where that came from. I was there. There was a point in time where I was studying to become a doctor.
Yeah, I mean, I hope everything works out in baseball, but that's such a smart plan, and specifically because I've seen it play out. Arguably the greatest LSU baseball player ever, Eddie Furness, who's now Dr. Eddie Furness. When he had done all his stuff, lined it up, and then when things didn't pan out in Double A ball, he ultimately became a doctor, and now he's living his best life, and then watching his son play at Ole Miss. But yeah, it's not when that's your backup plan. That's a nice one to have. It's better than most people, Caden. So you're doing something right there.
Thank you.
Last question I got for you, and then we'll play a game and let you get out of here. As far as you said you're back, you're recovering. How long do you guys got before you get back? I know the weight room is an important thing for you guys. Like when do y'all start getting on the grind? Not necessarily even on the baseball field, but just back into kind of routine as a team.
Yeah, the fall semester starts August 20th. Um, I got to move into my apartment August 14th, and then I think we'll start lifts earlier that week, starting that Monday. So then once you get there, man, it's grind time. School starts, and then they kind of let everybody settle in. Not much baseball stuff, all this, because school at Florida is a little different. Like it's hard. It's hard. It's a big adjustment for a lot of people. So they let a lot of guys get adjusted to the coursework and make sure they got everything under control. But we normally start real fall ball like scrimmages and stuff and team practice around early October. Um, and then maybe 2-3 weeks before that is just individual work, kind of group setting. Pitchers do their things, bullpen start, live start, and kind of just getting ready for team practice. And then once fall ball starts, that everything's a go.
So if y'all were going in the weight room and they were like position players over here and pitchers over here, which way do you go?
So it's kind of funny. That's how it works. Position players get a sheet and pitchers get a sheet. I always get the position player one, and I kind of just pick and choose a little bit of what I do. Like Like in terms of like the bench, like the upper body stuff, I do a lot of pitcher stuff, try to protect my arm and stuff. But with the lower body stuff, I do mostly position player stuff. So I kind of get to pick and choose, and at the end of the day, it's all just trying to stay healthy. So I think that just trying to take care of my arm with the upper body training is the biggest priority, and then just build them legs like a position player.
Yeah, it's all about them legs. Hey, I tell you what, I'll be recording some clips behind home plate at times, and I see some of you boys come up there, and I'm like, man, they do not skip leg day. A lot of you baseball guys put in the work. So I guess
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm trying. I still got some chicken legs. I'm working on it.
I hear you. All right, man. We'll play a game of this or that. We usually play with everybody before they get out of here. Give you two options. You choose one or the other. Just can't say neither or say both. You down to play?
Okay. Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. Starts off easy, man. Coffee or energy drink?
Energy drink.
All right. Tampa, I had to put this in there because we have conversations all the time, me and my buddy, being that he's close to the beach and he has a swimming pool. Would you rather go to the beach or would you rather just hang by the pool?
Beach for sure. Beach is an experience. Beach is an experience. That's I'll take that.
He
Sure.
said it was the beaches until he had kids. Now that there's sand all in the car and everywhere through the house, he's like it changes the idea behind it. But I'm all about
I
the
still
beach
got some
myself.
time. I still got some time.
Yeah, way away from that. Burgers or tacos?
Burgers.
All right, ABS or no ABS?
ABS.
Hit or pitch? You knew it was coming.
Hit.
All right. Concert or sporting event? When I say concert or sporting event, that means you can go to anything, anywhere, see anyone. Like if you got bucket list of either one, which one are you doing?
I'm just gonna say sporting event.
So you've already been to the World Series. What's the next one you would cross off?
Ooh, I don't know. I just want to go. I want to go see. I went to a Red Sox game when I was up in the Cape, but I don't know. Maybe go to Yankee Stadium or somewhere other like that. I haven't been to very many baseball stadiums, so there's a lot that I want to go to.
Yeah, I actually joked about that just yesterday. I said, when my son graduates high school, I'm getting an RV and I'm going to do like some of these folks do and travel and go to every MLB park. And my wife was like, "You can go," and I was like, "All right, like I guess you go do whatever, and I'll go do my thing." But no, it would be cool to see them all. I want to, especially because we got 5 guys now on the Pirates roster that have been on this show. I really, they said PNC is so beautiful. I got that one, and then you mentioned Fenway. I got to go in Fenway. It was off season, but I didn't get to see games, so still got to go back there. And then, of course, like you said, can't go wrong with Yankee
And then
Stadium.
also football stadiums. I've only ever been to the Buck Stadium, so I want to I really want to explore maybe like the Bills new stadium.
You want to go to LSU and check out Death Valley.
I've seen Death Valley. We
You've been there?
we traveled there. We that was where we went after the Sunday game. My freshman year. So I've seen it and I've been in there. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm actually disappointed. Florida has been a nice rival in football, and we don't play you guys this year because of the changing of the SEC and the way it's the different opponents. And all I've ever known is playing you guys. And then I saw next year we don't play Alabama, which is like really our rival. And it's like, man, I don't like the way the whole thing's shaped out now. But money talks.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Both these guys have been on this show multiple times. I've been having this debate with guys who pitch, seeing what style you prefer. If you could pick one to be your teammate, who would you want? Chase Burns or Paul Skeens?
Paul Skeens.
Seems to always be the answer. Nobody's giving my boy Chase Burns love. He's an all-star now. No,
yeah. I mean, he
go wrong
just
with
got
either.
paid. He just got paid.
Yeah, no doubt. Needs to lend me some money. All right. So this is the hardest question we always ask. Would you rather spend 5 years in prison or 10 years in a coma?
10 years in a coma.
The right answer. A lot of guys come on here and they're like, "I'll do prison." And I know you won't.
No, I'm good.
All right. Speaking of Skeens, I think back to when we asked him this question. If you could be the first pick in the MLB draft or win a national championship, which one are you taking?
National championship.
Yeah.
Because I think if you win a national championship, you were probably you were probably a big part of it. I mean, I would assume, and therefore you're still going to get yours, and the national championship is just cherry on top.
Yeah, well, the reason I bring up Skeens is because he was the first guy that ever was able to answer that, because we asked him the first time and he said championship. Then we were able to ask him after he was drafted and he said he'd still take the championship, and that validated for me. But like, we've had so many guys who've came on here when they've won a championship and they just talk about the blood, sweat, and tears that come through a season and just getting there and being able to finish it off. Like, it just seems like it's irreplaceable to that. Whereas, like you said, in the draft, even if you don't get drafted first, doesn't mean you're not necessarily it's not gonna work out. And heck, really, it's always about that second contract. And then anyway, that first one don't matter as much.
Exactly.
But that's all I got on the hot seat. I'm excited to see what Florida's gonna do. I know baseball just ended and we're like a ways away, and we still got football season. But with you and Aiden and Lawson and the other guys coming back, like man, I think sky's the limit for Sully and the crew. So I know it's a ways away, but you're probably excited for season to get back around.
Yep, it's gonna be fun.
All right, man. Well, before I let you out of here, anything you want to plug or promote or anything we missed?
No, I'm all good. I'm all good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, that's Caden McDonald, everybody. If you like hearing his story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share on Facebook. Retweet us on X. Listen and subscribe on YouTube. Go give us a follow on Instagram. We will be back next week. We're going to be talking LSU baseball. It's time to get back down to Baton Rouge. But in the meantime, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.